Peace. Welcome to Spears and Mike's Hip Hop Culture, Knowledge, and the Streets. I'm L1, and your co-host here is Just P. And
Peace,
we
peace,
got two members of Omega Zulus based out in Twin Cities with us, our special guest, Lefty and Indigo. Peace and love.
peace.
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 Peace. Peace. So, I think the world knows what y'all are probably going through. We all have an idea of how crazy Minnesota and Minneapolis have been right now. What's going on out there? What are y'all seeing as far as ICE and what's going on in the community? And before we get into that, I just want to say that my hearts are with the community. Um, you know, it's sad times we're living in right now, and beyond being sad, these are dangerous times that we're living in, and it's important for people in the community to be vigilant. Those that are a part of organizations, organize, team up, watch each other's backs, protect the youth, protect the sisters, you know what I'm saying? And protect the community, man. And we gotta be safe while doing it. So, a lot of Zulus have been reaching out to me and asking about y'all and asking about what we're doing, and it's just so much going on, man. It's really hard to like put a game plan together because we don't know where people are being targeted. It's just happening everywhere randomly. So what are y'all experiencing out there?
So that's the biggest problem is um when this went down again, this was south again. So my shop is on 48th in Chicago. And George Floyd was 10 blocks right up the way on Chicago. This was 10 blocks in another direction from me. South, for whatever reason, and I don't know why they keep targeting south. It's can we curse?
Yeah, 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 of course.
Yeah, okay. It's fucked up because on the flip side too, man, like I didn't realize that there's 2,000 feet on the ground here with these people, and there's only
Mm,
600 Chicago and New York. You know what I mean? Like Chicago and New York. You guys are from New York. I'm from New York. They're more violent cities than us. Like I don't get it. You know what I mean? And they said when they came here to target, they were targeting Somalians and now apparently Mums. Well, the area where this happened is a nice area. Like South is Hood, 10 blocks in any direction from my shop. But in that area, it's normal people. Like the woman who got shot, that's like the average person in this small area. So they didn't go into the hooded areas. They are specific areas in Minnesota, like New York, where there's neighborhoods that are specific. Like I'm not going to name the neighborhoods, but there's Somalian neighborhoods, there's the Hmong neighborhood. There are neighborhood specifically for the people that you're saying you're targeting, but you
mm-hmm,
didn't go there and you came here.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? And the fact that you randomly shot like a white woman with a white kid with a dog in the car. And the footage absolutely shows that you just straight up murdered that woman. This fucking fool, you know, he I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump you on this. He wanted to do that shit. And that was it. You know what I mean? They're trying to spin this in a bunch of directions that she's, a terrorist, and like the wordage is sickening. You know what I mean? Like this wasn't no terrorist, man. She wasn't trying to run him over. What happened was she got blocked in because they were blocking the street, and she was trying to work her way through. She was literally telling people, "Hey, go on through, go on through." You know, the dude literally was dumb and released his body camera, and it showed her going, "Hey man, it's cool, like don't worry about it, calm down," and cut her wheel as much as she could. And that was not vehicular weaponry. Like we've all seen when someone tries to run someone over. She didn't. And when he shot her, the car didn't speed off because she didn't have her foot on the fucking gas. It rolled.
mm,
Absolutely. And at the end, he turned around and said, "Fucking bitch," and walked away slowly. Did not go and check if she was alive or dead.
Mhm.
and left the scene. The
Can I
guy, they tried to explain it as
mhm.
PTSD because he got dragged 6 months before trying to do this. Well, he blew out a window when he got dragged. And I
Mm,
got PTSD from gun violence and other stuff. And, first off, I wouldn't have shot the woman. And second off, when you have that shit and something like that traumatic happens to you that triggers it, you're not in your right mind. You're not going to turn around and just walk away like nothing happened, man. Like that's not the way that works. You know what I mean?
Indigo, can I ask you a question before we get to your opinions and feelings and
Yeah.
experiences? As a woman, if a masked man, I mean, you don't know what he is. He's masked up, coming at you aggressively to your vehicle. How would you have felt like off that? Like just two masked
Yeah, I'm
men
trying
running
to
down
dip.
on you, trying to
I'm
dip, right? You
definitely
trying to
trying to
flee the
dip.
scene,
I'm
right?
trying to get out of there for
Right.
real. Like I feel like she did what was, first nature, trying to get away. And at the same time, I've also heard, they're still investigating the case. But I also heard that she was told to flee, like told to go, but someone else
Mm,
told her to stop. So then there
mm,
was confliction right there. So obviously in that moment, there was a lot of chaos happening. And I really don't, it didn't seem like to me, in my opinion, that she was being, aggressive towards him or, trying to do anything to hurt him as well. And she also didn't have any weapons. So it's like,
right.
why did you need to murder her is
Hmm.
beyond me, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel
Mhm.
safe? Do you
No,
feel safe? No, right?
I don't feel safe.
Right.
I'm having a hard time. I've had a hard time sleeping. I have family that are immigrants. My
Mm,
mother is an immigrant. My
mm,
family's from the islands. I have plenty of connections with people and, best friends that are from Africa. People are getting ripped away from their families. I had a friend today that called me to ask me to go and get her daughter that is only two from her daycare because they went into the daycare. They're going into these schools. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? It doesn't feel safe to drive. I feel like I have to keep my passport on me. We're all
mm,
paranoid out here. The city is really traumatized because, you know, it brings it to a bigger volume when you feel like, you know, there's no longer a specific target.
mm,
This is like everyone, and the city
mm,
is struggling. You can feel it. I'm not the only one who can't sleep. I'm not the only
yeah.
one who's scared to be outside. The streets are deserted because nobody wants to go outside. The kids don't want to go to school.
Mm,
They don't know how to deal. No one does. This is it's tough, but at the same time, I must say and give energy to the fact that this is also an awakening for our
mm,
humanity at the end of the day. Like, it's time for us to band together. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're from. Like, it done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it also is evolving us because I think COVID made us be so individual and separate from each other, right? But like
mm,
this now is making us come together and realize that we truly do need each other. And if
mm,
you are alone in this, like you can't be. You need, you're gonna lose your mind
right.
if you don't think about like who your community is and how you can help them. So
Right.
yeah, it's not I've been struggling for sure. Yeah.
Try your best not to travel alone unless necessary, you know what I mean? Try
Yeah.
to, rely on the Zulu brothers if need be and say, "Hey, I'm going to the market. Can one of the brothers roll with me?"
Yeah.
See who can give you aid and support.
Yeah.
We as Zulus, we got to protect our sisters, we got to protect our youth, so just reach out to the brothers, and when they're available, please have brothers
Yeah.
travel with you so you feel safely, as best as you all can to support one another. And not just the sisters, but the brothers too, you know,
Yeah.
travel with companions when possible.
Mhm.
That's what I recommend.
Yeah.
Just P, any thoughts and
Well,
questions
I
for the
just wanted
family?
to ask, I don't know if there's a concrete answer for my question or anything, but in your guys' opinion of experience, what can like do you think or you feel the rest of the country can do to bring awareness to this issue and support for what you guys are going through as far as this issue? When I was talking to Lefty last night, um, I was telling him like I don't really see ice like that out here. Like I see it on the news, but I don't really see it in like my everyday life at all. And
Yeah.
so like what do you guys feel is the something that the rest of the country can do to kind of bring awareness and also support?
So, yeah, man, like we were talking last night about that, and especially like just to bounce off of Indigo's situation that was a little weird today because she just finished doing my hair when she got that phone call. And I stepped outside and I got a phone call from a friend of mine who's an immigrant and works across the street that I told, like, I've made videos and told everybody if you don't feel safe, my tattoo shop is a safe haven. Come in, I'll put you in the basement. I won't let anyone in. I keep a gun at the shop. I keep a gun in my car now. And they were going door to door, um, a block from my house on my block, 20 blocks from the shop. And I was back and like, Indigo, do you need me to go fucking help you get your kid? If not, I got to run up here and make sure my neighbors are safe, you know? And luckily her friend said her kid was safe. And I ran up here and I drove a mile in each direction looking for these motherfuckers and they weren't here. But to answer your question, as far as the rest of the world and what's going on and not seeing that, that was a big awakening for me with this shooting because there's only like 600 troops in Chicago and probably the same or less in New York, which to me, and there's 2,000, well, there was 2,000 when the woman got shot. There's now at least 2,500 with another 1,500 coming. Now,
Mhm.
from somebody who came from where you guys are, I don't understand why there's less troops in the more violent cities because we have our issues, but we ain't, we don't have like New York's like 84 again, as far as I'm
Because
concerned.
he's
So,
worried about the Somalians. We have a
you know what
high
I mean?
concentration of Somalians, the highest in most parts of the country,
Right.
because of the deal of them, making a deal with Somalia for them to be here, and because of that big scam that Trump believed was rooted from here, he sent them here because of that. But
Okay.
it's causing chaos in other ways, obviously. But we do have a lot of immigrants, especially from Africa, not even just
No,
Somalia,
we have a huge
you know?
Somalian, and now they're
So,
going after the
and the
Hmongs too because
Somalians
there's
are
a
on the
huge
south
Hmong.
side. And in my opinion, like our hoods, especially South Minneapolis hood, we have pockets. So like it'd be like 10 blocks of like hippie white people. And then
Mhm.
it'd be
Yeah, that's what
like
I was
three
saying. Like
blocks of
you're in the wrong
crackheads
neighborhood. You're in the wrong
and
part of the
then
Mhm.
neighborhood.
10 blocks of the homeless people. Like it just goes back and forth in pockets. It's like a weird phenomenon. But like, yeah, it makes sense to like it to be like random, like how it was, but like, and for it to be turning up in this city because of the Somalians. That's who he's after. But obviously it's affecting other people.
I think,
You
like
know?
conspiracy wise, too, with it happening in South again, was George Floyd was done 10 blocks from now, and they have like it's nothing but a big memorial, and they've been talking for years about like making it nice and getting it together. And like it's still hood over there, man. There was 25 people shot there within the first year after George Floyd in that same area. So, as a conspiracy, shooting somebody on this side again where there isn't what you're looking for is they want to
Yeah.
burn the city down again. And then they
There's
can
also
build
a high
what they want to
concentration of
build.
activists in South Minneapolis too. So
Mhm.
like you're also going to hear about it because there's a lot of activists that reside on the south side, and
True.
they're going to the news. They're sharing it themselves, they're
Mhm.
standing up for
So,
certain
as far as the world
things.
thing, here's what I would ask and tell the world because I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this because when the ICE situation first broke out in this country, my assumption and the way they started it was they were sending a National Guard in first to get rid of the Gestapo police departments and put sheriff's offices in there. ICE went in at the same time, so it would be safer to do that. I also was under the assumption that ICE was federally trained military officers. I didn't know they were getting $50,000 bonuses. I didn't know that they were failing not only mental but physical, requirements to be an agent. And with a lot of the shit with the Biden administration, with a lot of criminals being let in under the guise of, like, they were like, even Scarface, like, you can come in and we won't believe about that. So thinking of it on that kind of thought process of trying to get a lot of the criminals out of the country to make the country safe sounds like a good idea. Now we've gotten to a point, though, where it's not just innocents getting sent back to countries that have been here for 30 years prospering, but you're murdering people.
Yeah.
And not only are they murdering people, but they're going into schools, and by law, they're not allowed to go into schools. I work at the school at Reyes. We do not let the kids out without somebody walking them to their buses,
Hmm.
period. Like,
Yeah.
they are now going, they started going door to door on the north side. Now they're going door to door on the south side, right next to my house. What I would tell the world to help us out for one major thing, because next weekend, the alt is coming here to anti protest, if that's what you want to call it. It's going to get violent. And what I ask for the rest of the world is, if you come here or you want to help, do not come here and destroy my fucking city again. Because when the Floyd thing happened, it took about a week, and Minnesota people, all of the protests that were peaceful were Minnesota people. Yes, you had some violence going on, but when the influx of people busing in is when they burnt this fucking city down, and buses of bricks started happening. So I don't want to see my city burnt again. My old lady has PTSD from childhood trauma with her brother and guns. I had to take her down to her parents' house when the school shooting happened, which was 10 block was half a mile from my shop. And I'm trying to bring her back now because her brain's starting to calm down. And this happens. And this
Yeah.
city has consistently gotten worse over the last years. And a big problem with it is community is being lost. So I'm hoping that this will bring community back together with everybody. And I'm gonna say it, and I don't want to be um, misconstrued as asking for violence, but there's a drop the flag movement in the gang world right now, and I would tell the gangs in Minnesota to drop your flags and unite and try and help the people, not go around shooting these people. I don't want to cause any of that, but I think that y'all are supposed to be soldiers. I was a soldier when I was in that world. You have more ability to help protect and more mentality than the average person. So I would say, help, come around and help, because, like, the what else is going on is, like, the day after they did the protest on Chicago and Lake, and it was tamed. There was ICE on one side, protesters on the other side. There was people speaking angry to ICE, but nothing really, like, hurtful anger yet. You know what I mean? Just, like, I don't know. It wasn't like that violent hurt. I my soul is broken shit. They more had signs and were being very peaceful. And ICE was literally walking into the crowd and targeting certain people, and it wasn't immigrants. And they were arresting them and taking them away. And nobody was helping these people. Nobody tried to stop them from just snatching people up. And they're lighting smoke bombs and just throwing them in, where no one's doing anything to you. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have a
Well,
guy that showed up with a megaphone going, "We killed one of your fucking communist bitches. We're coming for you." Like, we don't need that.
Yeah. The agitators. I
You know what
well,
I
think
I
it's
mean,
mean?
if
I'm sorry, sis. I think it's important that we maintain discipline, right, from a standpoint where, although there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of danger presence. we have to maintain discipline when dealing with all of this stuff that's going on. And when you all are together or separate, just be vigilant, but be disciplined. Strive to not use emotional, like reactions toward things, because there's going to be a lot of outside forces and agent provocateurs, anarchists. There's going to be so much different elements all pulled together, and it's just going to be so chaotic that none of y'all are going to be able to think straight. So try your best to stay focused and disciplined through it all, so that you all can safely navigate home, navigate through this madness, you know what I mean? um and just survive it, right? That's the job of a Zulu, to survive in life. And that's a great challenge, to survive in a world full of chaos. So, lean on each other, support each other, protect one another, but always lean on the discipline discipline to keep you balanced. You know what I mean? Indigo, what'd you want to say, sis?
Oh, I was just gonna say that. I mean, kind of piggybacking off of what Lefty was saying, that I feel like this is what people who don't support Trump were always worried about. You know, us not having a country anymore that is a capitalist country, but like a dictatorship. And that's what's
Mm.
happening. Martial law is being enforced. We're losing our rights. And, only thing that I believe that will help is to any kind of support that is going to uplift us, keep us calm, is going to keep the city from, being violent or protesting in a violent way, is showing any kind of support any way you can, any way. If it's a video of a prayer, if it's you know, some type of group support, like anything. I don't think there's any kind of like physical action that could help us right now, but trying to band together and showing that there is support there, you know.
Right. And it's important for organizations that are like-minded to unify. Organizations, whether it's a hip hop organization, whether it's a religious organization, whether it's
Hmm.
whoever's out there in the community that wants to solidify themselves and protect the people, and bring awareness to what's going on and fight what's going on. It's important that we unify with these different groups and organizations, because in numbers there's strength. You know what I mean? Like, even in the lessons for Zulu, like, it says Zulu for us means heavens, but what does Zulu mean to us? It means strength in numbers. So we always gotta, like,
Mm.
take heed to that, man, because we're always stronger together, and you all are always stronger together in the community with other like-minded individuals, you know? So just, we need the organizers to organize. We need the leaders to lead. And we need the strong brothers and sisters on the front line to protect one another, set up some type of
Mm-hmm.
command, give directions, give instructions, and find a way to get through all of this madness. Because this is going to pass eventually. They'll
Hmm.
move on to another city when things calm down, or they
Yeah,
reach
it
their
will.
goal or quota, or they burn the city down. Whatever their end game is, it's
It's
going to
not
come to an
forever.
end. It's not going to last forever.
They
So y'all just
already
got to
they already
ride this
shot two
storm.
people in Portland over this.
All
They
right.
already shot two people in Portland over this for protesting this.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, um, yeah, man, I understand, and I know myself, man, and I'm trying my hardest. That's why I try and stay away from a lot of this stuff, because I have that, you know, savior mentality, and I can't abide by people bullying or, you know, weak people being hurt. And I've literally had to call my old lady and say, hey, listen, if you don't hear from me in 3 days, something happened, come get my dog. Because um, whether or not I keep my head about me, the way this situation goes, that is scary, is they're not, there is, they murdered a woman, a 40-year-old woman, in cold blood that wasn't even like, it wasn't even what you were here for. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be here for this. And, you know, and not only is she dead, like, the other thing with the country is you really need to open your eyes and see this for what it is, man. You're trying to say, like, I am sickened to see these videos of people saying she's a domestic terrorist and she tried to run him over, and he, you know, he did the right thing, and um just talking shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's different this time, you know, like the George Floyd thing with people, you know, oh, well, he was a crackhead. Yeah, he was. Okay. He wasn't a great guy. Doesn't mean he wasn't supposed to die. He should die. But this is some average Joe woman. She wasn't a criminal. She wasn't a crackhead. She's just trying to get home to her kids.
Yep.
And they don't care. Like, you know, Indigo was saying that they're trying to do a case for it. Well, um, the federal government is not allowing our city to
Mhm.
to hold him accountable. They're like, you're not
They
allowed to
took over
hold
the
an
case.
investigation.
Yeah,
You're
they
not
took over
allowed
the
to.
investigation entirely.
You know
Hmm.
what I
Mhm.
This
mean? They're like, you just can't have an investigation. So we have reached this precipice now where the world has gotten more and more crazier as far as what's okay with the government. You know what I mean? Like, we, you know, everybody was you know, on one side or the other when COVID happened, but everybody bent the knee over a fucking flu because it was, you have to do this, you have to wear a mask, you have to do this, is going to kill you, even though it was a fucking flu. So that to me was an experiment on control, because they did more with a fucking scare of a flu bug than Cuba did threatening us with nuclear weapons. They shut the world down with a flu. And now they have a huge portion of the world being like, oh, yeah, he killed a girl. You know, she was a terrorist. Okay, that's what you told me. Like, the problem, it's sheep. And the problem is it's gone through, you know, you know, the social, you know,
Yeah, we
everybody is
know.
Yeah.
based on
Mhm.
feelings now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I feel this way, you can't hurt my feelings. So nobody is having intellectual conversations about this stuff. Like I said, having the conversation, even saying, like, yes, I understand why they wanted to do this with ICE to help. That is a perspective that I feel you need to look at. Period. You have to look at both sides. And Zulu and the teachings of Zulu, knowledge. You have to have knowledge of all aspects of everything to create an opinion. And if you want to change people's perspective, you have to be able to speak intelligently on the subject. And the problem now is people are not listening. They're just going, no, I don't agree with you, no matter how many facts or whatever. And that's scary. That is a scary thing when people are not using their mind to make decisions. They're listening to the fucking computer in your hand.
Yeah.
And the computer
Listen,
in your hand, 90% of it is fake.
this media is geared to stir the pot, rock the boat, disrupt peace. You know, I don't even watch the
Mhm.
news like that. You know, I may just scroll upon something and read about it, and then just fact check it and do my
Yeah,
own
same.
research. We're living in a world of trickery. We're living in a world of mind control. Um, and I don't let none of this rock me or disturb me. Because at the end of the day, my responsibility is to my family, my daughters. I have to pay my bills. I have to go to work, and I have to like stay sane because this stuff will drive us over the ledge, right? And it will have us acting irrational. And this is what I say: we have to lean on discipline at all times and use our strength to keep us balanced. All right, and do your best to maybe block out social media, block out the media, and just absorb what's going on in the community. Take it in, internalize it, strategize,
Mhm.
organize, lean on one another, and then move accordingly based on the plan that you all put forth. And
Mhm.
don't sway from that plan, because that plan is a strategy that you all have created as a family on how we're going to survive this, how we're going to get through it, and how we're going to protect our community. You know what I mean? That's my,
Yeah.
you know, what I can give y'all from my heart. Whatever y'all need support, if y'all need to blow off steam, our lines in New York City is always open to talk. This platform is always open to speak on it as well. I appreciated that y'all came on here to speak on y'all experiences and, let us know your
Welcome.
thoughts and feelings. And just know that I think there's more allies with you all than y'all even realize. You know what I'm saying? But formulate the plan and stick to the plan. And for the young Zulus that I raised up throughout the years, they've ridiculed me or joked with me when I've said this, the 5 Ps: proper planning prevents poor performance. You know, apply that to everything that y'all do. The 5 Ps: proper planning prevents poor performance. When y'all really plan something well and really put something foolproof and stick to it, execute it according to that plan, it's going to be successful and y'all going to come out on top. So whatever y'all want to do, just know all the other chapters are here to support you. This is a worldwide organization. And we can continue to speak on the ills and the challenges that we're all going through here in the United States, here in these particular cities that are being attacked by ICE. But we're gonna get through all of this all as an organization, as a people. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be better days ahead, man. And I'm praying for you all. But remember, organize with like-minded individuals and use that discipline. Do y'all have any closing remarks before we get off?
I
Yeah.
just want to say, like, I personally, as an artist, have been trying to promote resistance, you know, in a positive way, you know, calling into people to lean into each other. Even that is like the tone and the theme of my performance and concert next week, is to bring people together, like how Bob Marley did.
Mm.
You know,
Definitely.
how music really helped fight the resistance and bring,
Hmm.
consciousness up and awareness and calm your nervous system. You know, I
Great
want my
idea.
music to do that. I want to, to build my community through music,
Word.
and it's the
Very
best, it's
powerful.
the healing of the nation. As they say, it's
Yep.
like, yeah, so,
It's the greatest
yeah.
unifier.
So
So that's
Al,
peace.
Yeah.
um, I hear what you're saying, and I super appreciate it. And as far as staying away from the news and concentrating on your family and stuff, and I remember when I lost my taste for violence, and I love being peaceful. The problem is I'm at the epicenter. Like I said, my shop is 10 blocks from this shooting, 10 blocks from George Floyd. A half a mile away was the school shooting. Right after that, there was 4 shootings a mile from the shop at the homeless encampments for no reason. Like, it's
Hmm.
just building and building. Like, the name of my shop is Lost City Tattoo because it started in New York. I had my first one in New York when the towers went down and the Thompson Square riots and all that shit. That's where the name came from, because everybody in New York, you remember, were lost around that time period. People were just in a daze. So when I opened it here, and the George Floyd stuff, the murders and the riots, the name stuck. So I opened it here, and I got reminded of that the other day when a couple walked past my shop and said, Lost City, oh, tattoo, because that's what's going on. And um, my shop is a safe haven for anybody. I've been posting videos for if anybody feels unsafe to either come to my shop. I've been handing out my cards. Call me. I will come pick you up and take you wherever you have to go. If you don't feel safe leaving your house for any reason, I will go get you groceries. I will come to your school. You can come to my shop and I'll put you in the basement. That is all I can do. And that's what I'm trying to do on peaceful
There you go.
levels. You know what I mean?
Yep,
And as
yep,
far as
yep.
Indigo with like changing the world with music. And that's what the one thing I love about hip hop is. I've always felt that there's waves to come to change the world, and it's art and music that's going to do it. And hip hop, I have always felt that that was one of those waves, because no matter what color, creed, what ethnicity, what poor, rich, everybody can feel something with hip hop. If you can't understand the lyrics because you didn't live that lifestyle, you can dance to the beat, or you can vibe with the fashion. You know what I mean? It changed the world. And I still believe it has that power, which is why I love being Zulu and doing what we do. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt,
So I just
no
want to
doubt.
say thanks to hip hop and thanks to you guys for giving us this platform for this. I really needed to talk about
Oh
it,
man, no, we
and I
appreciate
appreciate
y'all.
it.
We appreciate y'all giving us a better look at what's really going on from people that are experiencing this on a daily basis. Like I said, we're always here to lean on us for advice, for strength, planning, whatever y'all need to get done. Just reach out. Make sure Reyes gives y'all my math, and let's keep in better communication. Peace to all the Omega Zulus.
Sure.
I think just before I get off, I just want to say, if y'all are not actively meeting, set up a meeting right away, ASAP. But privately, y'all discuss that amongst yourselves. You don't have to reveal to me anything on here, but get together and y'all organize meetings as often as possible to keep each other in the loop, with plans of action on how to survive this. All right. Um, Peace and love to all the Omega Zulus. Big respect, big love, and prayers to the community, to those that are in the community experiencing these terrible situations that these agents are putting y'all through. But like I said, brighter days ahead, man. Thank you to all the listeners, the viewers. Thank you all in Omega Zulu. Thank you, Just P, for coming in with us and hosting this. Um, Man, peace and love to all. Salute.